This is a book that I use quite often called Speakup. It's especially made for Latin American countries, those countries that speak Spanish. It is a magazine with different articles, as you can see. It has the printed text, and the printed text is read by someone either in a British accent or an American accent. It's very good for listening, it's very good for reading, and it's also very good for vocabulary, especially if you notice the words. Some of the words are in blue, and these words will be defined in text in Spanish. So it's an excellent book. It can be bought at Sanborn if you want to buy this, or you can order it from the publishers. I highly recommend it. I will make various videos like this available to you. Okay? In a few moments, I will play this video.
In the romantic comedy, The Breakup, Jeniffer Antison and Vince Vaughn play a couple who have broken up but are obliged to continue living in the same apartment that they have bought together. But the 38-year-old Aniston, a Greek-American whose ancestors changed their name from Anastasakis on arriving in the USA, says that she was attracted to the project precisely because it was different.
That's what I loved about it, because it wasn't one of those cliché romantic comedies where it gets wrapped up in a pretty little bow. It's complex, and it goes in deep to the deterioration of a relationship and how that happens, and it's not always rosy, and it's done so well with such a balance of the two being funny and also heartfelt and emotional.
Aniston, who is best known for her role in the cult TV series Friends, certainly knows all about breaking up, having been through a very public and painful divorce from Brad Pitt. Nevertheless, she seems to have enjoyed playing the part of Brooke, opposite Vaughn's character, Gary.
They're definitely opposites, sort of like an odd couple kind of a thing. She likes to keep the house in order and decorate, and it's clean, and it's very important to her and how things go. She's kind of maybe controlling in a way where things have to go a certain way, and if they, and she gets a little stressed about it. And Gary's, of course, a little bit more on the laid-back side, just can't understand why this is also important. But, then hence the movie.
Vaughn, who is also the movie's producer, feels that the film's location, Chicago, played an important role in the story.
Well, I grew up outside of Chicago, and I really love the city, and it just seemed to me to always be kind of a great American city. And when I envisioned this movie, I saw it taking place in Chicago, and Chicago is like a lead in the movie because it's the backdrop of where everything happens. And I think it's a very accessible city for most people, whether they're from the East Coast or the South or the West. It's the Midwest, so I think it kind of has relatability for everyone, regardless of their from.
But for director Peyton Reed, Jeniffer Aniston is the movie's real star.
Jennifer's amazing because what she brings to the movie is amazing comedic timing. And she also has this quality that she's clearly a movie star, but she's also very relatable. I mean, people feel like they know her. And I think that's why she's written about and her personal life is followed so much, because people really feel like she's a friend and that they know her. And that's an incredibly great quality to have for this movie, because we're making a movie about people that hopefully you can relate to. And she also digs pretty deep in this movie. There were moments in the movie where she was delivering some of her emotional stuff, and it'll make you choke up. I mean, she's really, really an amazing actress.
As I mentioned in the first part of this recording, there are blue texts in this article that if you click on them, they will give you the equivalent in Spanish. I will now go through those words, click on them so you can see the Spanish equivalent, and I will pronounce the English words. Ancestors. Ancestor. Where it gets wrapped up in a pretty little bow. Heartfelt. Opposites. an odd couple kind of thing. Controlling in a way. A little bit more on the laid-back side. Hence the movie. Lead in the movie. Backdrop. Relatability for everyone. Amazing comedic timing. Digs pretty deep. She was delivering some of her emotional stuff. It'll make you choke up. This completes the vocabulary part of the article. Quiz. Now for the quiz. Decide whether the following statements are true or false according to the interview in the article. Number 1. Jeniffer Antison begins by saying that the breakup is a cliched romantic comedy. You can choose true or false. Antison is a mixture of Greek and American blood. True or false? Number 3. She explains that her character in the film is very disorganized and untidy. True or false? Number 4. Vince Vaughn claims that Chicago is a city that everyone in the U.S. can identify with. True or false? Number 5. According to the director, it is the partnership between Antison and Vaughn which gives the film its special quality. Now, I will give you the answer. And here are the answers. Number 1, it's false. Number 2, it is true. Number 3, it is true. Number 4, true. And number 5, false. Did you get the right answers? I hope you did. Now let's go on to the next quiz. Here we choose the best option in each of the following sentences. In the film, the couple live blank after they have broken up. You have a choice between together and separately. And number 2, Antison says that the film is more blank than usual films about relationships. Your choice is profound and experimental. Number 3, the writer says that Antison blank what breaking up is all about in real life. The answers are knows and doesn't know. Finally, when number 4, Vince Vaughn's character, Gary, is a lot more blank in the film than Jeniffer Aniston's character. It's tense or relaxed. And number 5, Peyton Reed says that the audience blanked with America in spite of her very public persona. The answers are identifies and competes. Okay, check your answers because I'm going to give you the correct answers. Number 1, together. Number 2, profound. Number 3, knows. Number 4, relaxed. Number 5, identify. Insert the correct preposition in the gaps below. Number 1, it wasn't one of those romantic comedies where it all gets wrapped in a little bow. Okay, number 2, Antison is best known her role in the cult TV series Friends. Number 3, she knows all a breaking up. And number 4, she went a painful public divorce with Brad Pitt. Number 5, Chicago is easy to identify with regardless of where you're from. Oh, I'm sorry I gave you the answer, but that's okay. And number 6, we're making a movie about people that hopefully you can. Here are the correct prepositions. It wasn't one of those romantic comedies where it all gets wrapped up in a little bow. And number 2, Antison is best known for her role in the cult TV series Friends. Number 3, she knows all about breaking up. Number 4, she went through a painful public divorce with Brad Pitt. Number 5, Chicago is easily to identify with regardless of where you are from. And finally, in number 6, we're making a movie about people that hopefully you can relate to. This concludes the reading and the quizzes.